Hello, Tom, can you hear me?
Yes, that's Jim, yeah. Okay, Jimmy.
The important thing here is that since the repair has been made, the amount of, well, first of all, I refer to it as damage because the level of water has been raised, which has now gone into a patch of property there to where there are 8, 12, 16-inch oak trees that are growing. And in fact, there's a stone wall, because the town owns the opposite side of the stone wall. Now that water at times will go all the way up to the stone wall. And the other thing I want to mention is that the water that travels through there travels from Gulfwood Road south to Blood Road, crosses under Blood Road, then goes down around in the back to where there's a large swamp or beaver dam or whatever, and then it flows down Blood Road to Saundersville Road. And that's the flow. It's not the opposite way around, because there was some talk about the water being there because of beavers. That's not the issue. The issue is after the work was done, that the level of the cross pipe is higher than the original one was there, thus causing the backup of water. So when we had met before, the position was that they were going to take a look at it, but from what I understand is that's been changed. Now, why I wanted to just have you people listen to is Mr. Peel here, who now works for the state of Massachusetts, no longer works on the highway, but he actually worked on it. And just listen to what he says as far as what had happened. You mind?
Yeah. Hi, Richard Peel. I'm working on the job site when it was an old stone box culvert, I think is what they called them. That went under the road, the stonework, and we excavated it out. The stones were getting big, so we didn't dig up all of them. So they ended up putting the pipe in on top of the old box culvert, which put the pipe in, I'm betting 18 inches higher than it used to be. So the water is backing up. Well, I guess it's his yard now, or that wasn't a swamp before, and they're making it into a swamp now. It's just kind of common sense that the pipe needs to be lower where it belongs to drain the water out.
If you may, just a little bit of history here. His great aunt, Mrs. Kinlan, and her husband, they used to own and operate that 70-acre farm that was there. And I'm sure that you and your family have been hunting there for years and years and years. So it's not as if they don't know what goes on there or don't have a feel for it. They certainly do, because at one time, that farm had continued up and on the other side of Gulfwood Road. And then that got sold off piece by piece, and then with the remainder is where we came in the fact. Now, Matt Bishop abuts this, and Matt was at the last meeting. Anything new to add, Matt?
It's just been the same thing. The water's not leaving no matter what. You know, the trees are starting to uproot everywhere just because they're wet. Obviously, it wasn't there before. The trees wouldn't have grown in the first place. And now there's new trees falling every other week.
And I had a, if I may, Mr. Chairman, I had a discussion with a board member a while ago, and the thing is, you know, this is one of those things is, hey, look, you know, whatever the commission decides to do, you know, it's going to cost money. So the thing is because usually you have an applicant and the applicant asks for some things to be done, you say, fine, the applicant pays the bill. Well, here is, you know, what needs to be determined. And I think this witness, and if you want to call it a witness in this homeowner, a butter is stating how things have changed after the fact. So it really, you know, do you need a neutral third party to say, look, it appears that the pipe is higher than it would have used to be, and that has caused this. Thus, this is a town of Charlton Board of Selectmen issue. And it certainly shouldn't be a neighbor issue. It certainly shouldn't be. Thank you.
through the chair, Ron and I did stop down and speak with Jerry. He's adamant that one of the best cross drains he's ever put in. He says that's not the problem. He says it's the beavers at the other end, but I agree with you. The water flows this way.
Flows.
Doesn't flow towards south,
The
it just
south,
flows
yeah.
this. So I tend to agree with you, Ty. I just don't know who we're gonna get to pay for it. Jerry is adamant, Jerry's not gonna hire an engineer to fix it, he's not gonna touch it.
Why would you need an engineer? It's just a simple fix. Put the
I know.
pipe in, run across
Back-
the road.
Go back and
backfill.
dig it out.
It's not an expensive job in any way, shape or form. It's half a day worth of work. It's a couple ton of asphalt. You could reuse the piece of pipe that's already there. Just dig it out and do it right.
I don't think we have the authority to tell him to do
That's the
anything.
problem.
That's the problem. That's gonna have to come
The problem is you gotta get.
from the selectmen.
The selectman would have to order him to do it, or the town administrator.
And I.
No,
agree.
we do have the ability, cause we issued the emergency permit for it. And it wasn't
So
done.
we can hire an engineer or force him to hire an engineer? Or can we hire an engineer?
Why do we need an engineer if we would just explain
Well,
to us
well,
what the problem
I
is?
know.
And I
Because
personally
I
don't think
don't
that
think-
we should be getting, as far as ordering him to do anything, I think that should go up to a higher office.
I just don't think Jerry's gonna do anything. I
Mr.
would
Chairman,
say so.
Mr. Chairman. I've seen that area down there. And it's pretty obvious, something was done wrong. I mean, it's created a whole new wetland in there. If you let that stand, it's setting a precedent. So the next time somebody comes in here, they want to block off the culvert to create a pond for themselves. You've already set a precedent that that's okay to do. So I mean, the mistake has been made and it should be corrected.
We agree with that.
Yeah.
We agree, but I don't think we have the authority, even though she said so, to tell the department to what to do. I think that is
Through the selectmen.
correct.
Through the chair, can we send a request to the selectmen to have Jerry repair that?
If I may make a suggestion is, I agree 100% that the thing is, as far as, oh, now you need to do this, is we all need the higher power, which is the expert, which would be an engineer, to go and say that the cross drain that's in the road is too high. And it means nothing if I say it, or if Mr. Bishop says it, or Mr. Pio.
It may need an engineer, but who is going to pay? It has to be from the top office, not us.
Okay,
We don't have the money to hire an engineer, and we can't make a bill and then send it to the selectman's office without their authorization. So the whole thing starts at the top.
all right, I'm going back to what Angela said, that this was done under
An emergency.
Yeah.
under the Emergency Act, and now it was done under the Emergency Act. It's been suggested, not determined, but suggested that it was put in wrong. So under the Emergency Act funds is where the expert should come in and say, is it right or it's wrong? And I mean, and we would have to accept that. And I think if there's funds within that department or that act, or if you could kind of go to the administrator and say, look, this is the dilemma we're in. There appears to be a mistake was made. And look, none of us are perfect, neither am I. And the thing is look, I was just saying is, you know, I no longer own the budding land over there. I just don't want to leave it and say, yeah, that's a Lemansky job, because that's not how it was. Thank you very much.
All right.
Through the chair.
Next time.
We'll see what we can do, but like I say,
Appreciate it.
money talks, you know?
Yeah.
And we can't
Do we
make
have
bills that
funds
we
for
can't
that?
pay. They gotta go to,
We have to have funds appropriated.
For the engineering,
I mean, it could be.
I don't see.
I
I mean, this could go a bunch of different ways. we have the ability to issue an enforcement order to DPW requiring them to fix it. That's one thing.
That's
They
not gonna-
could contact DEP for our inaction, but then the town
I don't wanna
faces
go out of town.
25.
Just stays in town.
Yeah, I'm just saying that then they face 25 grand a day fines if DEP finds that it wasn't done
Then
appropriately.
we ain't going out of town.
No, I'm not saying us, but
This stays in town.
if the
Appreciate
commission
it, Tom. I
doesn't
think
take action,
Do you want me or us to go and talk to the administrator? Within the next week or two and try to have him put an ear on this and have him.
It wouldn't hurt. No, I don't have a problem with that. I don't know if anybody on the board has any questions about that.
Okay,
No, I mean, I totally agree with what you're saying, but I think what Angela's trying to say is if the agreed person doesn't feel like it's getting addressed, then they might call up the DEP and say.
I don't think we necessarily have to.
I'm not saying we,
No,
we're
not us.
not saying to do that. I mean, clearly, if somebody, that's the potential.
I think we should start with the office here in town.
okay, no problem.
All right, thanks.
Yeah,
All
no,
right,
no,
appreciate
no,
it.
thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they can check with us. I mean,
Yeah,
should
and I
we
know.
also send a letter? Should I try to coordinate with Mr.
you can send that, you
Lemansky?
can send a letter to Jerry for all the good that's gonna do, but
I think it's beyond that. Again,
I agree.
Let me just go in and talk to our administrator
All right,
and let them know that.
according to Jerry,
According to
Jerry, said he couldn't put that any lower.
In fact,
That's exactly where.
I'll talk to you, we'll talk about
what
the
Jerry
old
said.
minutes of the meetings where the vote was taken.
Because it's ledge.
Okay,
Is that ledge, Chico, Richard? Not
Stone.
Boulders?
It's a stone culvert. It was tough digging, but it wasn't a very good effort in my mind to put it back
they
to the
still
right.
make dynamite.
You didn't
They
even
still
dig
make
that.
jackhammers.
You can dig that just fine with a little effort.
it's
All right,
amazing,
Jerry's
it's amazing what the
defense,
old
he said that
timers used to
that
be able to do.
jackhammer
Yeah, they put it in there
They put it in there.
by hand.
But,
All right, thank you. All right.
Rick, I have one quick question. If this, it's gonna come up in front of us, I would imagine at some point, Steve Corona's. If this was approved before, who approved it?
The emergency permit?
Oh, you mean the original putting in of the culvert?
How long, cause I got here late, I didn't, and that's why I'm asking, what?
When was that done?
Last year.
Oh, that was put in last year?
Yeah,
about
about a
that
year
year.
ago,
Oh,
So that would have been approved,
by the Conservation Commission, yeah.
and so then Concom approved that fix.
And
The old
it's-
stone
they-
culvert was
yeah,
sitting
they
here,
give
it wasn't
you-
backing up.
and Steve,
An
if I may,
emergency
Yeah, no,
permit
please,
with
I'm
There
just
was,
for
there was
clarification.
no plan. There was no plan.
Yeah.
And again, Jerry does a great job.
Yeah.
Jerry came forward to the commission and said, look, I need to fix this. It's under emergency act. And, we're just gonna go replace it. So, again, and you guys, many times, we just go and replace the culvert with no big deal, of course. But this one, again, ended up getting elevated in the back to water. And thus created, I mean, there's a huge, almost an acre of land that I think of vegetation that's been damaged because of the high water.
I mean, technically, under the Wetlands Protection Act, all culverts should require full-blown NOIs with engineering, but I work with my DPW because that's not really feasible unless we're talking, something on like Katy Brook or Little River, something big. That's a bridge, like, I'll issue an emergency permit where they have 30 days to do it. So they time it right and
So.
It comes with
and
conditions.
It sounds like the correction may not have been the right one, so another quick 6-hour correction without an engineer might solve the problem.
yeah, it just needs to be lowered. Cause unless it's really raining and really flowing, the water doesn't even go in the culvert. It goes under the culvert, which could,
The old
in
box
its,
culvert.
That causes sinkhole as well?
yeah, it could cause more damage in time, especially if we have a hurricane or something. That's one of those that you'd see on YouTube getting like ripped out of the road.
all right, thanks, guys.
Good?
Appreciate it. All right.
little bit of background.
We're gonna sign, we have any minutes we have to sign?
No,
Any documents? Into
yeah,
them
but
after,
at
the end of the meeting?
yeah, cause we have to
Alright.
issue them.
Lot 122B Oxford Road.
Oh. the
Hello,
sign.
Tom. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, this is Jim Allen. I'm on the meeting.
I can hear you, Jimmy.
Okay, thank you.
Sit tight.
I don't know.
Sign in. Can
Yeah,
you
well,
sign?
Are we here for this project?
Just for the,
No, let's do it.
yeah, them too.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess, put it over there, put it on that side over there.
This is Oxford Road.
Yeah, it's the Oxford Road, so just for the record, Scott Morrison from Ecotech. We here last meeting, we made some revisions, we added a infiltration system. And the only outstanding question was, on the other lot regarding the access. Whether or not a culvert gets installed, and that's within the town's, roadway right away. So depending on what the, DPW direct.
Not to shut this down here, but these two lots are just, there's a little gray cape that sits just beyond these two lots, correct?
Much further down, there's these two lots, a vacant lot, and then there's some houses further down.
So they-
There's a new house just right of this,
This next to the brick house.
correct?
Okay, there's two lots in there,
And there's
then you got a
house
big
further
hill. With a
Yeah,
house
go-
on top of it.
Is this
That's
Oxford
what
Road?
you're talking
Yeah.
about?
Yep.
Okay,
This is Oxford Road.
yeah, behind my shop,
No, that's Oxbow.
Oxbow.
That's
No,
another
that's-
Oxbow Road.
Huh?
This is Oxford.
It's
Oxford Road.
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
Oxford
that's
Road.
just taking the way you're talking.
You're throwing me a curveball.
Same here. All right,
Okay,
So just to kind of regroup here, Oxford Road here, proposed driveway coming in, septic system, proposed house. Infiltration system proposed here to collect roof runoff into this. We're proposing a grass swale to come down the side of the driveway with several check dams to slow the water down. Erosion control barrier consisting of straw wattles and silt fence to be installed and maintained during construction. That's pretty much it for this. If you want to open up the other meeting for the adjacent lot, we can go through that as well.
Wait, we should
You want- how do you
through,
wanna-
through the chair,
close,
what, you're gonna, have you got a culvert size yet there for the road in the lot?
Yeah, so, like I said, that's the next lot,
yeah, that's not that one.
so the wetland system kind of comes through here this way. That other lot you saw completely avoids it. It's just a buffer zone.
Okay.
Wraps around. So this wetland system flows through, goes through a culvert underneath Oxford Road and continues on. The question was whether they should install a culvert, a cross culvert underneath this roadway, the access road here. This is a constructed swale along the edge of the road.
Yeah.
So any water that comes down, sheets off the road, goes into that swale. Anything essentially from the site to this wetland would go through.
It's a catch basin there.
No, goes through, there's a low spot here and then a cross culvert that goes underneath. So there's kind of a drainage divide, essentially like right where the driveway is here. You know, anything here drains this way, anything up from the wetland, this side drains through those culverts. So this driveway access here is within the town's right of way. So we added a note to the plan, that will address, you know, any needs that DPW require. If DPW requests that a culvert be installed, we'll install a culvert there. If he looks at it and says you don't need a culvert, you know, because water's already going through the existing culvert underneath the roadway, it won't be a culvert. That's, you know, it's within the town's right away, so that'll be a.
do you have any questions on this or any problems?
The one problem I have with this one is that there is an existing culvert under the road, but it is full of sediment,
We put that in the order of
They
conditions, that
are-
they have to clean it out. Is that feasible?
This town land.
It'll all depend.
I
on what
don't-
DPW wants us
yeah,
to do.
it depends on the state of the culvert too, because it's stone. So I don't know if,
Are we gonna have more water going through this after they're done, that's going through there now?
No water goes through it now. There's no water that can get through this.
So why'd they put a culvert in?
It's like an old,
it's
it's an
been,
old
it's
stone
been there
culvert that
forever.
looks like it's been clogged for years. And the other thing, it may have just been a stone crossing, and then when they excavated the swale on the road, they might have dug it up so that there's like what looks like a culvert there, but may actually not be, I don't know.
Alright, what are we doing with this tonight?
Water goes right down that
And,
swale.
What's the condition of the, that stone culvert, you know? Did you see it?
I did. It's filled with sediment,
Could
but
that
it's
have just been an old stone wall and they,
no,
no,
it's definitely a culvert,
it comes out on the other side somewhere?
yeah.
There's no evidence of it coming out in that.
No?
There's
That's
a
that.
couple stone, I think there's a couple stones on the up gradient side that make it look like a box culvert, but I wasn't able to find anything on that down gradient side, so I don't know.
anybody on the board have any more questions?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
that stone culvert, does that have relation to the water that's coming off of that property there?
Yes,
All that water comes through here, comes through and then goes through a culvert underneath the roadway here. So if you install a culvert here, what may happen is you may get water that comes through, some of it may go through here, some of it may go this way. All depends on what elevation. you put
There's
that.
quite a downhill pitch right here, isn't it? Or is it?
It starts, it's relatively flat here and then it starts to pitch, I think, more as you go past the lot. I think the last thing you want to do is add a lot of water that currently goes under an old culvert. I mean, there's like a lot, you know, it's probably a 20 or 24 inch corrugated metal pipe that goes underneath the road. You install something here, it's entirely possible to kind of redirecting the drainage down the swale.
That old culvert that crosses the road, that's down there a ways too, the inlet, a couple of feet.
Anybody in the audience have any questions? What are we doing with this?
we can,
Are we closing it? Continuing it?
I'm okay with closing both of them. But with this one,
With conditions?
they go, yeah, with conditions, but this one, if DPW does come and say they have to put a culvert in there,
We can provide a revised plan.
Well, we can put, we don't have to, you know, we can just
That's
put,
the-
add it to the plan, just change the plans and approve it, that's all.
I think
I
that's.
don't
I would
think
say
you
any
would.
changes to this will provide a plan. and
Exactly, exactly.
commission.
All right.
Well, no, what I'm trying to say is I don't think you'd be able to amend it because you would have resource area impacts with the installation of the new culvert. So you would be increasing your resource area impacts, because there's no way to get the culvert in and out without disturbing the wetlands that are right up to each side.
Yeah, to be tight, I think you could probably do it. Cause it's, you know, it's a steep slope on both sides, so
So that's why I don't know if it,
if the culvert's required, we need to come back with a, you know. RDA or another notice of intent for that one particular area.
yeah, that's the one thing is that you might have to do a new notice of intent
So
for.
leave that open in the order of conditions.
That, yeah, there's not any problems with that water flow now, is there?
No, no, it all
There's no
comes,
backup,
all comes down,
right, it works fine just the way it is,
yeah.
so why do we need to do it? Oh, it doesn't work anyhow. It works fine right now.
It's at the discretion of DPW when they issue the driveway permit.
Well, Well, at that point in time, yeah, when that time comes,
Have they- have
and
they
let's leave
issued it
that
yet?
as a condition.
Yeah, that's
Alright.
exactly what I was saying.
And I would make a motion to approve this with that condition.
Hold on,
Oh, that's
one at
one
a
lot.
time, one,
We gotta
yeah,
do them both at the same time?
That's the
No.
second lot right there, isn't it?
Yes.
yeah.
We
well, let's-
already went through the first lot.
I know, but we have to close the hearing.
Correct, for the first one, then the
Yeah.
second.
Yeah,
Yeah, I understand.
okay,
Okay.
so close the hearing and issue the order of conditions for 122B.
I need a motion. Nothing, no, we're not continuing it, we're closing it.
Closing. Yeah, that's what I
Okay,
said.
Yes, okay.
Now, what's
And issue
what's the
the
order
order
of
of
conditions on
conditions.
B? It's not the culvert, the culvert's on C, right?
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct.
So this one does not have a culvert. There's no, I don't think there's any question. Lot B is.
Lot B is the only
one that
thing.
avoids the wetlands
yeah.
here and that cross culvert.
So we're gonna close C, B first and then C.
Yeah,
Need a
B
motion,
just has our standard.
Motion made.
second,
Second.
motion is made, all approved,
Aye.
all
Aye.
against, the ayes have it. I need a motion for the order of conditions,
Wait to close and issue it for 122C.
show me a pen.
Do you need to, with conditions?
Yeah,
We need that one, I'll get this one.
That's a pointer.
Oh, pointer, no pen?
That's not gonna work. Yes.
I don't know what the hell that is. It might be a bomb.
and this
Thank you.
one has the. In addition to our regular conditions, the replication conditions and the dewatering conditions. As well as the culvert condition.
Okay. Somebody make a motion.
I did.
I'll second.
All in favor,
Aye.
all opposed,
Aye.
have it.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, cause that's the one that has the like 6 foot deep quarry hole full with water that
Yeah.
the foundation's going in, so.
Lot 3, Hill Road,
Requested,
Continuance.
yeah, so 412.
lot 4B.
Wait.
No, we need a motion.
Yeah.
Make a motion to continue.
Yeah, right.
Second.
All in favor,
Aye.
all opposed, the ayes have it. Lot 4B, Oxbow Road,
Same thing, continue to 411.
I need a motion to continue,
11 or 12?
Motion to
Second.
continue.
all
12.
in favor,
Did I say
You
11?
did.
all opposed.
Wait, who made the motion?
Ed did.
Sorry. Who seconded?
Who seconded?
Mitch,
Sir.
Mitch, too.
Yeah, me, I guess. I'm guilty.
Griffin Road,
Is anyone here for that?
I am. Tom Corbett, 0 Point. I did send you plans in your email if you want to bring them up, but I didn't
Didn't even see those.
I did have 11 by 17s for the board as well when I dropped off last. But just here to update, we're in planning board still with this project. Subdivision has been approved, so we're working through special permit currently. We're here for the ask of work within the 100-foot buffer, previously disturbed areas. And last time we left it, you were waiting on some kind of direction from planning. So just here to simply be here. We haven't been talking about it in a while, so I just wanted to update and.
This is for your battery storage.
Correct, yep. Yep, I don't foresee the plans changing at all. It hasn't changed yet either since the first time we
But
looked at
planning
it.
board hasn't approved it.
Nope, they haven't approved the special permit as of yet, but
so we're gonna continue the hearing.
if you so
Yeah.
feel, yeah.
So did the
Anybody?
plans have or have not changed?
I resubmitted plans just to make sure that the most current subdivision plan and all the lot lines are correct on it, so you have,
Plans Jay did?
correct.
Okay,
Well, Jeremy, but yeah, yes,
I need a motion to continue
your
the hearing.
name's on. it,
Motion.
so.
yeah, Jay did.
Second,
Second.
Second.
all in favor,
Aye.
Aye.
all opposed,
Aye.
the ayes have it.
Thank you all.
I missed that.
That's been a long time. coming down.
7 Harrington Road,
Continue 412.
And continue.
We'll call it.
yeah,
We gotta
Okay,
I
continue.
didn't hear what you said.
make a motion to continue to the next one.
Oh, all right, I didn't hear. I
Second.
need a All in favor?
I,
All opposed? The ayes have it. 8 Harrington Road.
Same, continue.
Need a motion, continue.
Motion.
Second, all in favor? All opposed? The ayes have it. Lot 2, Pumpkin Lane.
Continue.
what the heck?
I need a motion, continue.
Motion to continue.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 51 Cranberry Meadow Shore.
I didn't get to see that one. Gee, you did.
And your name, sir?
Jason Dubois.
Can you spell that, please? No.
Added that. Don't,
Okay.
people on it. That's the order.
Thank you.
We don't have any lights over here?
Yeah, it's off.
I don't.
You asked.
I turn them on all the time. I thought they were low on.
Oh,
No, yeah, you have to wave your arm from back and they go off.
well, I've been waving my arms.
I was losing my eyesight.
We get accused of fighting, we stop waiting.
So this property, it's a lake property on Cranberry Meadow Pond, very small lot, it's about 30 feet wide, about 100 feet deep. Has a failed septic system on the water side of the house, the well is up on the street side. As you can see in the plan, it's very tight. So we're proposing a tight tank, there's no room for a leach field. The only thing is that the existing sewer currently goes out towards the lake. There's a cesspool underneath the deck. So I believe Gabe Berthium's doing the work. They have to take the deck off the back of the house, excavate out the old cesspool, probably shuttle it up the hill to the road, take it off site, the material, and then set the new tank in place. And then
Fill the hole back in with
if
gravel.
they need any material, it's gonna be excess material, there's a cesspool now to put in a 2,000 gallon tank. It's close to the water. There's really nothing else that can be done out there.
The tank's gonna go in the opposite side of the
It's
building,
going on the lake side.
on the lake side. And where's the pump going? Same.
How far away is the tank from the river water?
Less than 10 feet.
Yeah, 6 feet,
How many?
6 feet.
It's a tight tank.
It's a tight tank. Yeah,
Real tight.
yeah.
Board of Health School.
So I talked to Tom, he's typically, I know conservation wants Board of Health to approve first. When he called me up, he said, let me know when conservation approves it.
I've been trying to get a hold of him, so that's why.
I think he's just, his concern was it's,
Well, we're better off with a
It's on
tight
the
tank
water.
than the old system there. I'll tell you that.
there's nothing else to do.
I've been trying to get a hold of him, so.
I mean, it
I-
makes sense, it's better than having a failed septic. I get
Yeah.
that. But
I'm
my
surprised they let
only
tight
concern, obviously, is if the Board of Health says no, we.
So his only concern with me, when he called me, was that because the elevation changes so much up at the street is like 25 feet higher than the bottom of this
Can
tank.
get it up there.
So he just said, check with Gabe, from Slims and just say, can you physically pump this system, pump the tank when it needs to be pumped? Gabe said he can do it. It just takes longer. They gotta crack a valve on the pump tank so it doesn't implode. But it can be done.
Well,
So
can we approve it subject to the Board of Health approval? Why not, instead of having them come back?
Yeah, right.
yeah, I mean, literally the tank can't go anywhere else. It's gotta go there. There's no room on the street side.
I mean, you could try to get an easement for it to go in the right of way. I mean, you gotta dig down like 6+ feet and you're gonna hit water after one.
The only issue is that right away is owned by
A bunch of people.
a bunch of people that have access to it. So I think they'd all have to,
Sign off.
that might be a.
Well, if we
And
approve it.
she is right about the water.
Yeah, well, we have a dewatering plan in place. I mean, if it,
And you have to fill the tank.
if it needs to be dewatered, they're gonna have to just pump up the hill and do like one of those dirt bags, leaches out, those sediment.
I haven't seen it, so this is an ignorant question. I apologize ahead of time. I'm assuming there's no way to do a raised type. You can take up higher and cover it. I'm just
Where
asking.
they're gonna put it. they're
So where
putting
the
it
house,
over
the house is like it's not a walkout, but it's like a
So you'd
slab.
have that right behind you.
So it's coming out.
The Board of Health hasn't approved this yet,
No,
Gotcha.
not
then we
yet.
should.
there. Yeah. I would
They're waiting
I think
for
the
us.
Board of Health is waiting for us to say, yes, we'll
I
accept that.
haven't
That's what
had a chance to speak with them yet. I've tried to contact Tom, so that's why I'm recommending.
Continue it,
Yeah,
okay.
because
Yeah.
DEP's comments were that it doesn't meet the Wetlands Protection Act or anything like that, and to,
People living in that house? There are people.
They're not living in the house, but the house is sold. So they're.
So,
what?
traveling.
I think so.
Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
You know, I think without the Board of Health approval, I don't think we should be
We're not,
deciding on this
we
because
can continue,
they may have
Yes.
conditions that they want to bring.
yeah, that's why we're continuing.
Yeah,
okay,
it's
let's make a motion
specifically,
to continue it.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
can I read the
Let her
DEP?
Aye.
Can I read the DEP comment? That the DEP says that the applicant needs to demonstrate that no alternative designs are feasible to meet the setback requirements, and the design has received approval from Board of Health. So,
And that's basically what we're gonna wait for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're never gonna get those people that have the easement, they'll let you put that on the easement, so. It's not gonna happen.
I mean, maybe a
It's worth a
brief
shot.
narrative of some sort, an alternative analysis you could provide. We looked at this, it was
I mean,
not feasible.
The house doesn't even fit on the lot. The house is over the property lines. And there's no alternative. It's either that or the house gets condemned.
That's the narrative, no alternative.
Right. Yeah.
Okay,
We're not even
do
close.
what
to
you
the
can do
house.
with Board of Health.
There's,
Where's the other plan?
I mean, the tank is like 5 feet off the house and it's 6 feet from the water. There's no, you know. And then the other side of the house is about a 15-foot strip and there's a well there.
What's the construction date? Just out of curiosity. Yeah.
That house, it's one of those old camp, you know, it's a decent sized house.
When's their closing date? Yesterday?
The owners that, it was a death, you know, in the family that it's owned by the son. He lives out in like,
Get Board of Health on the ball,
yeah.
and we'll get you on the ball.
All right, we all set on this one?
Who made them?
Yeah, we have the motion to,
Second.
All in favor?
All right,
Opposed? Guys have it.
made the motion.
Check.
Did.
167 North Sturbridge Road.
It's a new one. You?
Yeah.
That's you too?
Jason Jordan.
So this is an RDA, it's for the addition of a garage. The garage itself is outside the 100-foot buffer zone, but tree removal, grading, and land clearing are all within the buffer zone, so.
you're all outside 50 feet,
No,
Potentially was supposed to be.
supposed to be there.
Are you recommending an NOI?
You want me to?
the grading and the garage are outside of the 50. He cut down 7 trees in the inner 50. So I just put that as a finding of fact and included it in the negative conditions.
Did they
with-
leave the stumps there, or
Yeah, that's one of the conditions. Leave the stumps.
did they have a problem with not grinding the stumps?
No, he said he'll leave the stump. So when I told him that he could file an RDA as long as it stayed outside the 50, he said, that's great, we'll just do that. And then he went and he cut more trees. And I was unaware of that, but Angela told me that today. So we went out and met out there and I asked him, like, why'd you cut the trees? And he said, well, I thought I just couldn't dig up the stumps. So,
Makes sense.
I told him he may have to plant some, you know, some maples or something down in that area that he cut the trees out.
Is it level or steep?
It's fairly level down where he cut the trees. I mean, it's steep from there up.
or it's gonna be a slope from where he's filling. So it's on a hill, he's gonna cut one side out, bring the material over.
There's no washout or anything there.
There's no washout right now, but he hasn't done any excavation, he just cut trees.
I need a motion for negative determination with conditions.
I'll make the motion.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. 45 Davidson Road, DEP number,
No, we're
128.
skipping that.
We're skipping it?
Yeah,
Okay,
we
yeah.
are gonna issue the certificate of compliance for. Oh, okay.
LNG dewatering?
Wait.
You
Oh.
said you were
Certificate of
skipping.
compliance?
Yeah,
David.
so-
I was skipping, not you.
Okay.
You're good.
She was
May
talking
I
about
please have
certificate of compliance.
That one,
Are we not doing certificate of compliance?
not for 45 Davidson Road, but we are doing it for this one, 167 North Sturbridge Road. So I would need a motion for a complete certificate of compliance for DEP number 1281605.
Okay, but so we're jumping over project monitoring.
No, she's,
Yes,
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
All right, go ahead. I need a motion then.
motion made.
Second.
What was this for? I was-
Yeah.
Certificate
No, I
of
was doing
compliance.
something else here.
Yeah,
Certificate of
down at
compliance.
number 9.
128-1605.
The new business.
Second,
I'll second.
did I get a second?
yeah,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it. Now
No.
back to LNG with dewatering. Are we ready for that?
I've got another item under old business.
I know, but we didn't do the number 8.
yeah,
She's ready for that, yeah.
that was on the last one too, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Okay,
I thought we allowed them to do that with an extension on the other side to the river.
yeah, it's just letting you know
That's
that
all done.
they are doing it and now it's done, so.
It's done.
They are going to be doing something very similar with the whole gas line next. They have to run the water through the line that goes from,
They don't even have all the gas lines
The
in.
water in it,
Yeah.
pressurize it,
yeah,
drain it, yeah.
Do we have
but
anything
they're
else?
gonna handle that when they get there.
Do we have anything else? If not, we can set the next meeting is Wednesday,
Listed,
March.
but I
I've
believe,
got some new
March,
business to discuss.
Yeah, it's supposed to be April.
Yeah, I didn't could see that. It says both in March and
Oh.
April. Yeah.
I would like to discuss this conservation fund that we
Oh, yes, okay.
was brought up to the board a couple of meetings ago, I believe.
yes,
The more I researched this and others have researched this, it's probably not a good idea. It's gonna give the 7-member appointed board a slush fund to work with. And that's, I mean, why should we be able to buy property with that money without any prior approval from anybody? Taking property off a tax roll and put it into conservation? Does that make sense?
I mean,
Not according to
according
my
to
taxes.
the Attorney General, it doesn't need a town meeting vote for us to buy property.
It needs a town meeting vote to put money into the fund though.
Yeah,
So
Okay,
you
so.
can establish a fund. And then you can go to town meeting and ask them to put money into it, and then you can use it for, like, the example would be like fixing something on conservation land or.
What I'm saying, if somebody donates $10,000 to the fund.
Yeah.
We can spend it any damn way we want without selectmen approval, without anybody's
No,
approval.
No,
no,
That's what it's saying here.
without town meeting authorization.
It doesn't
The
say that.
selectmen
No.
don't Need to.
It says it right
approve
there, yeah, it says private gifts require only the select board or mayor's approval, and borrowed money requires a 2/3 vote.
It doesn't say in the copy you gave me.
When it says without appropriation, that means town meeting appropriation.
Without further authorization from any purpose or any purpose of it.
This is the language.
Do you
of
have
the
a different
article.
copy than I have?
Not of the article, what I have is what is stated in the conservation Commissioners Unit 101, which tells you how the money gets used.
And then I also have everything from
What's coming up? This is what we
the
voted on.
handbook.
I understand that. That's how the article had to be written, but the way it's used is specified in this Conservation Commissioner's.
Well, that's
And-
one time I'm
and
not happy
in
about
this-
it.
As
Can I
described by
see this?
that.
Wow.
Yeah, it's as described by the law. So the law tells you how it can be used, and there's like 3 different funds you can
Right here.
establish.
This is the article they want to vote on. Even though that's what that said.
It's,
This is,
I'm, I
is this
think
Article
you're
13 right here?
completely,
This is the article they want to vote on.
I think
That's the article
you're
that was,
missing the point. It's not
I'm missing a lot of things.
this, it's not like this soup, like, it has specific uses that have to do with conservation, land management. Or if we want to buy a property, like to pay for the appraisal or to pay for the survey. Opposed to waiting till town meeting and then losing out on like a grant opportunity, or
Mhm.
if a property goes up to auction that we really wanted because it would
That
provide
Who
public.
is we, that we really wanted? The Conservation Commission?
if you wanted, to, as conservation wanted to protect that land, then you'd have the opportunity to do it.
Shouldn't the townspeople have some say in that?
Not under the
Oh,
law.
no. Well, I believe they should have some say.
I do too.
Thank
I
you.
mean, they have to vote every year to put the money in it.
Right.
I'm talking about money that's donated. We don't have much
And
money
again, but
donated.
the money that's donated, the expenditure still has to be approved by the Board of Selectmen.
Same thing
I
with
have a
land.
question.
Go ahead. Jim.
Fine monies going into this, so-called fund?
No, fines go into the
Something
general
says-
fund.
But if you want to buy a piece of property, they have started doing.
No, that.
Well, the board, if we were to someone wanted to buy a piece of property, the whole board would have to approve it.
Right,
So,
No.
no, majority.
According to this. board.
No, not the
What do
whole
you mean
board.
not according to that? The majority would have to vote.
Yeah,
exactly.
so it says private gifts require select board approval and borrowed money requires a 2/3 vote.
Well,
But
I'd
say
I'd
we
like to
wanna
get more
go
clarification.
for a trail grant or something. And we need a match.
I'm just a little
This
leery that
account
I
can
read this
give
and
the
read this, and they're not identical.
So that's article language, and this is
That's
from.
the article.
No, this
That's
is
the law.
from the Conservation Commissioners 101. So,
The one you just showed me,
yeah, that's the article, the way the article was written, and I think that's article language, how it has to be written.
that's the article we're gonna vote on at town meeting.
You can also stand up at
That's
town,
different from this.
okay? That I don't know. I mean, you can
What's
also stand up
different?
at town meeting
I would
and
like to
amend it.
make a motion.
What's different about it?
This is what was sent. That's what.
I'll call you back.
This
I'm out
is
of
what's
meeting.
in the warrant.
Doesn't
Yeah.
matter.
Okay, all
Huh?
right.
There should be a little more discussion on it. Look into it a little more.
I would like to make a motion to have this removed from the warrant, this article removed from the warrant until we get more clarification. And if we wait, then we can't get it removed from the warrant.
The warrant isn't being printed until the 27th. And we've been invited to go to the select board meeting on the 11th to discuss this.
In the
So let's
meantime-
make that our next
In the
step
meantime,
and then discuss it on the 12th after we go to the Board of Selectmen meeting.
Can I have the floor, Chair? Chair, can I have the floor?
You got 2 minutes.
I just made a motion and everybody's ignoring me. Hello,
I'm not ignoring you. I
I
don't,
need a motion.
through the chair,
Could you
through the
please?
chair, I don't,
I wasn't paying
That we
attention.
withdraw it from, we withdraw this article.
Go ahead, Jim. Go ahead, Jim.
I'm sorry, I don't think that anybody should have, other than the selectmen, to designate where money's going. I don't think the conservation should, have a so-called expense account at the discretion of
Not an expense
whoever.
account.
That's not what it is, though. This is.
We already
specific-
Well-
have an expense account,
Right, that's different, that's different.
like,
It's kind of
Put a motion
funny
on the
that
table.
it's kind of funny for 40 years, conservation has done without having a fund. And now all of a sudden, we have to have a fund. For whatever. I mean, if a trail comes up that somebody wants, we can buy it. Or I think that should start at the Board of Selectmen.
I need a second on his motion.
Okay.
All in favor?
wait,
So
there-
now, wait a minute.
Wait a minute,
Discussion.
wait.
Aye.
I didn't hear the motion. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm on a cell phone. I didn't hear the motion, and I'm respectfully asking for a name and a vote
Okay,
by
Jim, this
each
is
board
Mitch.
member.
Jim, this is Mitch.
Yep.
I made a motion to have this conservation fund withdrawn, the article withdrawn from the town meeting warrant.
Okay? I didn't hear that.
We all
Did
set?
you hear, did you hear what I asked for? That we vote by name and a yay or a nay?
Okay, there's discussion right now. Hang, just sit tight, Jim.
I guess based on what I've seen in the handbook and looking online, I don't understand why there's such a change in heart coming from the January meeting where we voted to go forward with an article to establish this fund.
As I had research. Yeah, we
Well,
shouldn't
with
have
all due
voted.
respect,
No, so,
you
no,
weren't,
no, because there was an option to push it off to another meeting.
Okay.
And then you had discussion, and then you said, no, it sounds like a good idea, so we're gonna put it on the warrant. And then now we're going back through it again to take it off again. Why not have the discussion with the Board of Selectmen first before, and then have it at the next meeting, have the vote to keep it or not, because we don't know the whole
Because
extent.
things fall through the cracks and it won't get taken off the warrant. Some of us,
Not
Well-
if you go in front of the Board of Selectmen
If we
on
go-
that
yeah,
day
on the
and then
11th.
discuss it, you will know, we'll have a path forward. The next meeting, whether or not we're gonna, they could take it off then.
that's your opinion, yeah.
they
Or
have
you-
till the
I'm sorry.
27th before they even print the warrant. There's still warrant articles that haven't been finalized.
Right. My motion stands.
I think.
If we.
when we,
Mine's later, we
through the
can put it
chair.
on.
Yeah, but you don't wanna keep doing that.
Mr. Chairman,
Go ahead.
since I've missed a few of the meetings lately, I'm not really familiar with what we're talking about, but I like to have this continue at least until the next meeting, so I,
Well, the
Familiarize
next
myself.
meeting would include the meeting with the selectmen.
Right,
Yes.
exactly.
well, through the chair, when we voted to advance it to the warrant, it was very vague, and we were told by a selectman that the sooner we get it on the warrant, the better it would be. But there was no language as to how it was gonna be listed.
Yes, it was emailed out.
The language was provided to us.
Well,
I mean,
through the
there's-
chair,
There is a possibility that this fund has existed since 19.
I read through that
64
handbook.
without-
It doesn't include this.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm sure.
Well, let's get
I'm
clarification
not trying to
on that.
assure anybody else.
So we should get clarification on that, if it's already
So
existing.
I'd like to withdraw this fund for now. Withdraw this article for now, until we meet with selectmen. Because I'm not sure the selectmen are gonna be for this,
Then they don't support it.
okay? And I
Well,
don't,
no,
So-
you're asking it to be advanced. You're asking it to be advanced to the town warrant.
It's already on.
It's
the warrant.
already
It's
on the
warrant.
warrant.
it hasn't been printed yet. It hasn't been printed on the warrant.
And Skip would like to do some more research.
And you'll have a
Jackie
couple of
likes it.
weeks, Skip, you'll have a couple of weeks of research
So-
before we meet with the selectmen.
But if you
But I
take,
wanna withdraw it right
Take
now.
it- If you
no, if you
withdraw it, then we
withdraw,
don't
you
meet
can't-
with
you
the
can't put it back
selectmen.
on. If you withdraw it, it
Like-
won't stay on. So why
Then
not leave it
we-
on, have the discussion with the Board of Selectmen, and then go
Through the
forward
chair,
with
are we
that.
gonna discuss this all night?
I'm trying to give everybody the benefit of the doubt here, you know?
I
The
mean,
Then I need
appropriate
a- I-
course of action
you
is to
could do
meet
that.
with the selectmen
Yeah.
on the 11th and then reevaluate it on the 12th. Cause if you pull it from the warrant now, there's no reason to meet with the Board of Selectmen on the
Of
11th.
course there is.
And then, no, because you're pulling it off the warrant, so why,
We may be able to get it back on the
No, you
warrant if
won't.
the selectmen are all for it.
No, you won't,
so
because it'll be
let's-
closed by then.
let's wait till,
So if we don't take it off now, we can't get it off,
yes,
You
we
s- you
can.
still can get it off.
but
You
we can't get it
add
back on.
back- You cannot add it back on once they officially, when they close the warrant. Is my understanding the warrant's been closed. I spoke
No,
I spoke with the Board of Selectmen today and he told me the warrant had been closed, but it hadn't been solidified.
I don't wanna argue with anybody. It's so fine.
Since when?
I mean, that's my recommendation is wait till the 12th and we'll go to the Board of Selectmen meeting on the 11th.
And I
to
just gave
discuss
you my
that.
recommendation, and I make the motions, you don't.
Can I amend the motion? Can I make an amendment to that motion then?
I don't know if that's, I don't know it.
Because that's, I mean, you can do that at town meeting. That's
Well,
what
I think we have to vote on my
I
motion.
think we have to vote on his first.
Okay.
So
Did he want-
Seconded.
I need
Can we roll? I'd like a
I need
roll
all
call.
in favor?
I'd like a roll call then.
Aye, Ron Roy.
Wait, she wants roll call. And.
Oh, Jim wants to
James-
roll call.
So did James. Yep.
Aye, Mitch Dunn.
Ron Roy, aye.
Ed Novak, nay.
Jackie Noack, nay.
Skip,
No, I want to have more information on it. You know,
So then you're a nay.
What? No, he can be an
I
aye.
can't vote on something I don't really
So he's
understand.
Wait a minute, you don't, more information is not a nay or a yay.
So it's an abstain.
Are you abstaining then? Or are you, he wants to take it off.
I wanna
Do
take
you
it off
wanna
until we,
wait
Yeah,
till
that's
the
what I'm
next
saying.
meeting? So
Yeah.
then you would vote nay.
I want to wait for next meeting.
it'll be
So
too
you-
late, Skip.
Huh?
No, it won't.
Okay, all right.
No.
Okay, Skip votes nay. Jim?
Jim,
I'm sorry, it's cutting in and out. Where are we?
The vote is to you, Jim.
are you an
I
aye or?
vote nay.
No, Jim. You're
I
voting.
vote
you're
nay.
voting- You
Wait a
wanna
minute,
vote my
wait a
motion.
minute, wait a minute. I'm sorry, I've got bits and pieces here. Are we taking it off the warrant? Is that the
Yes.
vote?
Yes,
Then I vote yay.
Down to you.
Down to you.
I vote yeah.
So then there's no point to go to the Board of Selectmen meeting and then we can't get more information.
why is it that we can take it off then, but we can't put it on then?
Because if the warrant is closed, they're not gonna add anything back on.
But they
And
can,
if the warrant's gonna close at the end of this month, they don't meet
but they
again
can,
until
but they can
April.
take it off.
I mean,
My understanding. It's easier to take it off than it is to add anything on.
Oh, yeah, see it. All right, it shall be. All right,
Oh, are we done?
I would need a motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
This is-
Second,
Well, I have a quick question. Whatever happened with the alternates?
they
Alternates
both
if we don't have
can,
four people.
Then
Like, did
I
they both
understand
get
that.
approved?
Do they both
we can
get?
have two.
yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
I need a motion to close the hearing.
Wait a minute. You can have two alternates?
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
So they're there.
Or Jim?
Yeah, from when we talked with last meeting.
Need a motion to close the hearing.
Motion to close the hearing.
Second,
Second,
all in favor? I got the same paper to work the sign over here.